Alright, and now we're doing the PC version of Sonic Mega Collection Plus.
Damn, that was loud.
Indeed. Alright, so the PC version of Sonic Mega Collection Plus can be played at higher resolution, so it looks even nicer than if you play the PS2 and GameCube versions. Sorry, PS2 and Xbox versions. The GameCube is we already did.
So what's the difference?
Unlike the GameCube version too, it has Game Gear games added in.
Oh, so PS2 version as well?
It's the same thing, Joe, but this is a direct port of the PS2 version.
It's weird. Is this on Steam? Because I don't recall Mega Collection.
Basically, Jova, this PC port is exclusive to Europe.
What?
Yeah, it came out physically over here it was ported by Sega of Europe.
You know, look, I get it that Sonic is popular in Europe, but he's also popular in America. I'll admit, this is like with the Sonic Generations thing over in Europe. Like, why is that exclusive to Europe? It doesn't make any sense.
Also, I think this version has more Sega Game Gear games. No, well, Mega Drive.
No, sure. The PC version of Mega Collection Plus.
It's the same as the PS2 version,
It's
which we did get.
It's the same thing, Shiroi. So, yeah, as you can see, the higher resolution makes the text look a bit tinier. Because the original developers of the console.
I can also see they didn't bother to change the name of the buttons you need to press for the input.
No, they did not. Well, I don't know what to tell you too. Anyway, extras. Okay, so just like in the GameCube version, we can check the exact same comics scans. I'm not kidding. These are the exact same ones on the GameCube version. We've already checked these out. So there's
slightly higher quality.
They have higher quality, but whatever. We've already seen these. So it also has the illustration. It also has the illustrations as well. We've already seen these.
It's interesting considering in the intro that we saw there was an image clearly from the Archie comics about the signal Sonic and Shadow, but I don't think it's
actually more artwork in this
than
the original.
This is why.
And you can also get movies from Sonic Heroes.
Yeah,
too.
unlike the GameCube version, they removed the history of Sonic stuff and the Sonic CD movies to replace them with Sonic Heroes movies. First, we have here some of the storyboards. And we even have a beta version of the opening movie, which we will see in a moment. But for now, let's just showing off the story. We have the finished intro. We also have a beta version of the Team Dark intro. I recommend this. If you have again, this game will run on a potato, so don't worry. Definitely get this version if you can. You can easily get it on the internet.
I love how it's the checkerboard.
Yeah, and you'll notice that this is also the in progress version of Sonic Heroes because it still doesn't have the lyrics for the most part.
I wonder if this is why the transformation from Metal Sonic takes so long. They were so committed into transplanting the storyboard.
This is something Japanese.
No, this is the beta version of the song. This was back when they were rehearsing because there's
you can hear some echoing of the lyrics in there, but it's not the full song, evidently. My guess is this is in some phase of them making the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's they definitely had part of the lyrics down, but not all of it.
There's a lot of ad-libs going on in there.
Again, it's not too uncommon. Metal Gear Rising basically is the same thing going on.
It's mostly just Johnny going on the mic going la da 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 da.
Yeah, that's what you heard.
Try the vocalization first.
So I like how this part is finished.
Of course it is, Shiroi.
Alright, and there you go. Notice how Sonic's pose in this version of the ending is different.
Mm-hmm.
So nice. All right, now
you're not looking towards the camera, dude.
All right, now let's take a look at Team Dark's beta intro. This, unlike the intro, this one is actually more completed.
This must be it. I found Eggman's.
Or rather close to completed.
Hey, Rouge, your boobs are looking a bit cubic there.
I was about to mention.
It's a work in progress, guys. Come on.
Be careful, you'll be giving original Tifa a run for
fast
money.
forwarding through it.
I'll admit, though, I do kind of miss Rouge's Hero's outfit, which they kind of sort of referenced in Force's Speed Battle, but no, I actually do prefer her Hero's outfit.
So yeah, the bits that have yet to be animated, the bits that have yet to be animated have storyboards in them.
And they also had Omega's voice without the voice filtration too.
If I recall correctly, in this version, Omega is voiced by York's voice actor.
John St. John.
No, that's
no. Too. I don't think.
No. York's voice actor voiced him in Shadow the Hedgehog. In Sonic Heroes, I believe it was still John St. John.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Omega, you have terrible aim.
Yeah. Well, it's Stormtrooper syndrome, Shiro. It's very common.
The only time it
So
worked.
derpy.
The only time it worked was against Memphis, and he did jack shit.
Okay. Actually, Omega is actually pretty good at aim. He wasn't so much aiming for a particular thing so much as he was trying to wreck the whole thing, while also taking Shadow down with it. In that scene.
Okay, that's the thing though. In that game, I don't really believe it's Omega. In 06, it was just a bland, emotionless robot.
Yeah.
That feeling when you make Omega a robot actually feel way too much of a robot.
When it comes to the 8-bit games, aside from the ones that were actually made for the Game Gear, I do not recommend using these nowadays. It's much better if you just, like I've demonstrated before when we did the games. For 1, 2, and Chaos, you're better off just playing the Master System version since you have a much wider viewing field. But yeah, it's still fun to play Sonic Drift in here, sure.
Question, Pedro. If you're like me who wants to get the physical versions, are those Master System games available physically here in Europe?
Yes, well, the Master System was incredibly popular over here.
Oh, you even have a scorebook.
Well, this was a thing back in the day too, so... Alright, so Sonic survival tips. Grab all the rings you can. No shit. Watch the traps to see how they move. You'll have a better chance of dodging or escaping them. You might even try to borrow from them. Look for ways to get to places that seem impossible to reach. Okay, how fucking stupid.
Guys, keep in mind, guys, this was literally the manual for the very first ever Sonic game.
I know this one. Look for secret rooms. Destroy enemies in success. Okay, look for secret rooms. Okay. How fucking stupid does this manual think I am? Winning is good. Losing is bad. Pro tip: don't kill yourself in the game.
It can easily summarize in 2 simple words: get good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
What you're saying to you is that Sonic was the Dark Souls of its time.
So yeah,
So what you're saying is you're gonna be incredibly unhelpful.
So yeah, another benefit of the PC version is that you can watch these higher quality scans completely pristine on your computer. So pretty cool. All right. To explain. All right. I just wanted to showcase how the manuals were. Because I'm one to compare to the Japanese manuals that we'll do later. But
they're still good quality scans.
Oh no, they are. Oh, they are. But don't worry, I'll get to it. The point is, so yeah, I definitely do recommend if you want to have this game to play, for whatever reason. I definitely recommend you go on the internet and get an ISO because people have put it on archive.org and stuff like that. The PC version because it's Sonic Mega Collection. This thing runs on a potato, so don't worry, you'll be fine. Yeah, I love this one. Items for survival. Super ring. See, it's called. There you go. If you ever wanted to know what the ring box is in the Sonic Classic Sonic games, it's called a super ring. So there you go.
I guess they went through that Zelda logic, as in different color, means more.
Mm-hmm. And also, even though in Japan it's called speed shoes, back in this day in the West it was known as power sneakers. Okay. Well, too, gotta make everything look cooler with cooler words and shit. Also, I love how the picture of the Chaos Emerald is upside down. Did nobody proof check this? Come on.
I mean, to be fair, it looks the same upside down.
How did it even happen in the
I'll
first place?
I'll admit, unless you told me, I wouldn't really be able to tell. So.
It's the lighting. The emeralds are naturally a bit darker on the bottom.
Yeah.
I can't even heckin' see it.
Don't worry, Shiro. Just trust me, it's there. Anyway, crush Dr. Robotnik. Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Oh yeah, I already read this in our playthrough thing. Go ahead, Jova.
Like I said, I mean, to be fair, I'm fine with them explaining or possibly even over-explaining stuff, given how this was literally the first ever game of the franchise. So, yeah, people were legit new to how all this works. So,
Sure.
And honestly, a manual wouldn't be doing its job in that regard. Like, obviously, if you want to just figure stuff out for yourself, then don't look into the manual.
Exactly. Alright, and here it is, the Sonic 2 manual. Are you up to it? Right there in the top right corner, if you can see
Are
it.
you ready to do it?
Stop inhaling chemical plant zones of fuel, Sonic.
Hey, I'll have you know I'm just fine, despite dipping my toes in there.
Alright, when it comes to... Alright, so Miles Tails Prower, the fox, can't sit still when Sonic's around. Ever since Miles was a baby fox, he's dreamed of being like Sonic. He loves to run after Sonic, waving his two tails behind him, trying to keep up with his hero. Mostly Sonic lets him go trail along, but yeah, we already know where this is going. Okay, for those who have seen the Sonic 2 movie, the whole thing about Tails being... looked down upon and labeled as a freak because of his two tails, that's from the Japanese manual. Because the Japanese manual is going to further detail about the lore and the story, but I will properly read those when we actually get to doing the classic games themselves properly, so that, since I'll have more time to do that then. For now, we're just skimming through these. Also, by the way, so here's how you do it. You set up your Genesis system, you plug in the control pads 1 and 2, make sure the power switch is off, then you place the Sonic 2 cartridge into the cartridge and press it down firmly. Then you turn the power switch on, then you'll see the Sega screen, and then the title screen. There you go, dude. See, that's how you use your Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive.
A lot more steps there were back in the day.
If you don't see the Sega screen, turn the power switch off. Check your Genesis setup. Make sure the cartridge is firmly... Okay.
Firmly grasp it, Dwibs.
Yes. You have to make sure...
I don't have a Mega Drive anymore.
I also love how they...
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, that's another thing about the Western manual. It kind of spoils the reveal of the Death Egg robot.
What spoiler for a final boss, dude?
You didn't have to read it.
Sure.
There's a fucking picture! Just Todd will be able to read this thing.
I also love the way it's written on the top left corner. Sonic and the Tails.
And Tails.
Not to mention, that's a lie. This is not Sonic and Tails. This is Sonic 2. Sonic and Tails is on the Master System. And Game Gear. Remember, Sonic and Tails is the Japanese name of Sonic Chaos. So, yeah. Okay, so take control. I love how these Western manuals by Sega of America always have very in-your-face titles for each section. Take control. Crush Dr. Robotnik. Yeah, basically.
It certainly captures your attention.
Super stunts. We have the super spin attack. Okay. Yeah, I'm mostly just skimming. Race for the rings! Race for the rings?
Race to win.
I guess. Anyway, look, I love that illustration by Robotnik, by the way. At the end of every zone, Dr. Robotnik attacks in a fantastic robot machine. A fantastic robot machine. Okay?
These manual sounds a bit BS.
Who wrote this? The Knife Doctor.
Evidently not the 10th.
So yeah, the Badniks are Buzzer. So yeah, back in the day, they were not called Buzz Bombers yet. They were called Buzzers. Then we have Masher, then we have Coconuts. There you go. This was Coconut's debut. So the Coconuts you see in Adventures of the Hedgehog. So Adventures, yeah, Coconuts and Grounder, and well, there's also Scratcher later too. But yeah,
wasn't Scratcher debuting in what's it called? the Flying Fortress zone.
Yeah, exactly. The
Flying battery?
Yeah, Eggman.
Battery,
Yeah,
yes.
the robots from Sonic the free robots from Sonic Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog were based on Sonic 2 Batnik specifically. Coconuts right there, Grounder right there, and we'll see the one that Scratch was based on later on. But yeah, we also have Wisp. Aha! So there you go. Turns out there was a Wisp in Sonic 2 way before Sonic Colors introduced the Wisps. So there you go. Except it's a wisp. Except it's a wisp with an H, though. Makes all the difference.
I expect Sonic Origins to go into detail for this when it establishes the canon.
Exactly.
Well, we are getting new cutscenes, so it's a possibility.
All right.
Especially since the cutscenes are being written by Ian Flynn.
Okay, so we also have the Slicer. Dun dun dun. Okay, obvious joke aside.
Literally the worst.
We also have the Shellcracker. Asteron. Yeah, there you go, Dwebs. Little did you know that before Staryu was called Staryu, it was actually called Asteron. Yeah. Did anyone ever notice that Asteron looks basically like a Staryu before Pokemon was a thing?
That's because it's supposed to be a starfish.
I guess.
Like
But,
Staryu.
no, I get that there, but it's like the way it's designed, and it even uses the brown color. It's so similar in particular. Anyway, Aquas. We have Octus. How clever. Spiker. Get it? Because it has spikes. Also, the Lapras-like thing is called Rexon. Rexon? Okay. Then we have...
This is Rexon for us.
In Mr. K-Zone, we have Flasher and Crawlton. Crawlton? You think it would be Crawler, maybe? Like, wouldn't that make more sense? I mean, it would be more consistent with the others. Okay, we have Spiker, we have Crawler. But no, this one is called Crawlton. Interesting.
Fascinating.
I also love that description of oil oceans on Robotnik's refineries are pumping at full steam. Crude oil has turned the ocean black. So there you go. Turns out what you see in oil oceans is actually the polluted ocean. Again, going back to the nature versus technology thing. There you go. The Clucker. Scratch was supposedly inspired by Clucker. All right.
Also, I love how the Valkyrie is basically prototype Conqueruda from the Mecha Phantom Beast archetype from Yu-Gi-Oh!
We also have Turtloids and Nebula. Special stage. When you have 50 rings, when you would touch a star post, you'll see a star circle spinning around the star post. If you jump into the star circle, you'll go into the special stage. Alright. Moving on. Oh, and yeah, Sonic Super Hits. Grab every ring you can. When you lose rings, rush to grab them again, as long as it's safe. Watch enemies to see how they move. Once you know what they do, you'll have a better chance of fighting or dodging them. Look for ways to get to impossible places. Jump on levers. Jump on levers? Hang on from vines and use Sonic Spin Attack to discover hidden routes and blah blah blah. Collect 50 rings or more and you can get to the special stage when you press the star post. In the special stage, don't move too fast. Wait a minute, what do you mean don't move too fast? You don't have any control of your speed in the special stages.
Maybe he's referring to from left to right and vice versa.
Did the person who wrote these ints even play the game? Like, just...
I think it's like Tio suggested about moving from left to right too quickly, because that can mess you up.
I guess. I feel like they could have phrased that better. Handling the cartridge. A Sega Genesis cartridge is intended for use with the Mega Drive. Yeah, we already know how that works. Alright.
I will say I very recently saw the special stages in the quote-unquote HD version of Sonic 2. I do not like those when they flow well.
God.
It looks... It's off. It's weird. I don't like it. I want it to chug, please.
So you prefer it when it's a slideshow?
Yes, I do, actually.
Okay, believe it or not, there are some cases where having too smooth a frame rate can be a problem. Yes, believe it or not, that can be an issue. Case in point, the boss fight in Mystic Cave Zone, which was clearly meant to have, more of a jagged frame rate, because of how the spikes move. At a smooth 60 frames per second frame rate, the spikes move way too quick for you to be able to react to given the amount of cramped space you have in that boss fight.
Sonic 3.
Yeah, Sonic 3 takes place on the mysterious floating island. You see, Theo, back when Sonic 3 came out, before Sonic and Knuckles came out, it wasn't called Angel Island yet, it was called the Floating Island. In the original Japanese manual, they called it Angel Island from the get-go. It's just that the translators from this manual screwed up something in the process, I'm guessing.
I wonder why it's called like that in terms of theming.
It's called Angel Island because it ascends to the sky, Theo.
Suppose, Like,
Remember, Tail, we have a character called Miles Prower. I mean, this series likes its...
no, that makes sense. Like, in terms of pun, I just don't see any angelic theming. Like, if it's meant to be to symbolize the levitation, any kind of synonymous would have sufficed.
I guess that was...
The island is technically sacred ground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that means anything, but...
Well, okay. So, Dr. Robotnik's heavily... I'm not sure. Instead, Dr. Robotnik managed to crash land on the floating island after learning that the island is able to float in... Okay. Yeah, there you go. So, Knuckles is 15 years old. He's an echidna. His favorite food is fruit, especially grapes. Cool of Sonic 2 to point that out. The movie, I mean. Special abilities. Discovering hidden passageways and using his knuckles to dig, even though he will only be able to do that starting with Adventure.
At least they remember that.
Yeah, Knuckles was born and raised on the floating island and he knows all of its secrets. Okay. He's strong, athletic, and clever. Because Knuckles knows every hidden passageway on the island, it's easy for him to block Sonic's path, create extra obstacles, set traps, and steal Sonic's gold rings. Long ago, an ancient civilization lived on a floating island, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about this more when we do Sonic Adventure.
Lord!
Yeah. Not to mention, when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's better to just read from the Japanese manuals, because the Japanese manuals are much more complete in their information compared to this one.
And accurate.
Because remember, this was back when there was because of the whole thing with the way Madeline Schroeder reworked Sonic, she like a lot of the lore that was talked about in the Japanese manuals didn't transition into the Western manuals. Which
I wouldn't say that wasn't necessarily a result of that. Now that was more so about just how certain stuff got relayed, more so. Given how more or less, with the manuals I read back then, they still give you a complete stuff of what you need to know for the stories.
Oh, they do.
The Japanese one maybe has some extra details, but it's not like the American ones are incomplete by any means.
It's more so, Jova, that there's extra details that are really cool and important. Like, for example, the name of South Island, that comes from the Japanese manual, because these particular manuals never tell you that Sonic 1 takes place in South Island, that Sonic 2 takes place in West Side Island. This one, to its credit, does tell you that it takes place on Floating Island, but the problem is it's supposed to be Angel Island, not Floating Island. The Floating Island one-player mode, a guided tour. So we have Angel Island. Welcome to... Oh, there you go. Even though they still name the Angel Island zone as Angel Island. So what the fuck happened? How come we have two different names for Angel Island in this manual? Whatever. Hydro City.
It's just about where they do describe it as a floating island.
I'm guessing...
Wait, hold on. To be fair, that is about where they're describing the zone names. And that is how it always is. Like, despite the whole island being Angel Island Zone, it's only the first two zones that are called Angel Island. Which, to be fair, if we are to consider all these different parts of Angel Island, then I can see why they would call that Angel Island. Let's not forget, like, it was also a thing in the Japanese version where only the first two zones are called Angel Island.
Oh, I get that.
The whole place technically being Angel Island.
That's the thing, Jova. In the Japanese manual, it literally calls the entire island Angel Island.
Monkey dude. Sorry. Some of his names.
Oh, and of course, the Penguinator.
Flyboat 767?
We also have more Sonic tips.
I am
but
questions.
don't worry, Tail. We'll go into more detail when we actually do these games properly, because we have other stuff to do rather than just read the manuals all day.
And of course, here's the player's log, so you can record your final game scores and everything.
Of course. But yeah, that's the thing, Jova. In the Japanese manual, they say that the entire island is called Angel Island, which is why they later adopted that into the proper canon with Sonic Adventure 1 and moving forward. And the first zone itself is also called Angel Island. So they have Angel Island and Angel Island Zone. So that's literally how it works in the Japanese manual. So I guess they couldn't come up with a clever name for the first zone of Sonic 3 over there at Japan. I don't know what to tell you.
I guess when it comes to the American version, it's like, well, they figured, well, isn't it weird that we only refer to it as Angel Island Zone for the first two zones? So I guess they figured, and since technically it's Angel Island, but only two zones are called Angel Island, that may have confused some players, so they probably just opted to call it the floating island.
I also love this one.
Stuff was taking place.
Now, to give credit to the Western manual, this was a continuity mistake that's in both manuals. In the original Japanese manual, as well as the Western manual of Sonic 3, it says that Angel Island is the resting place of the Chaos Emeralds. Again, I could go into about some stuff that I could mention about that, but I'll talk about that when we actually do the classic games. That's not the time right now. Okay, so now it's telling us that Floating Island is the resting place of the Master Emerald. I love what it says right there. Sonic knows that many emeralds, including the Master Emerald, are hidden somewhere on Floating Island. So the Master Emerald wasn't a thing in the first half of this game, but now in the second half, suddenly it exists. It was never mentioned at any point in the and like I said, this applies to the Japanese manual too. In the Sonic 3 manual, there's no Master Emerald, there's just the Chaos Emeralds. But then on Sonic and Knuckles, which is supposed to be the second half of Sonic 3, suddenly there's this Master Emerald that was never mentioned before.
You know, it's funny, given what the Sonic 2 movie does with both the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emeralds.
A bit what happened with the Sonic 2 movie, where the entire goal of first was for the Owl Mother to send Sonic to a peaceful place instead of not going to Earth, but then it turns out that Earth already has a power source that's very convenient for Sonic.
Oh, no. See, it actually does work because that thing was actually sent before Sonic, and as a means, it has to do with the lore of the echidnas in it. You'll understand when you come to see it later on.
Sure.
Basically,
what I'm talking about more so is what the lore of the movies does with both the Chaos Emeralds and the Master.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it for your sake, Teo, but let's just say that they wove them together in quite an interesting way.
They streamline it, basically. I love this one. Lock on for action! Sonic & Knuckles is a revolutionary new kind of game. It's the first game cartridge, and the last one, to be able to lock on to others.
I also love that the lock-on was so important that they trademarked it.
Yes.
The fucking mechanic.
Well, you know what, to be fair, back in the day, and hell, even to an extent nowadays, lock-on technology was and is still kind of phenomenal.
Remember, Tail, both Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles were both sold at full price back in 1994, meaning this was kind of the first instance of a games as a service, kind of.
Now,
more like of an expansion to a previous game. Again, I forgot.
Now, to be fair, at the time, both Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, each on their own, were the longest that a Sonic game had ever been. So the idea that... Okay, so by Sonic standards, Sonic 3 and Knuckles as a whole was like literally the extent of two full-price games, now merged into one, essentially. So like, well, unlike certain other games as a service bout, it actually did feel like you were getting your money's worth with each installment. Like, it didn't feel like you were getting shortchanged, because Sonic 3 was longer than both Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. Same with Sonic & Knuckles.
Alright, we also have the other manuals for all of the other games. Right there, there's the Comic Zone. There's Comic Zone and Ooze, which were rated PEGI 12 in the West Webs, which is why the PC version of this game, as well as I think the console version as well, is rated PEGI 12. It's because of those games, basically. Anyway, here we go. Sonic Spinball. Look at that.
Also, there you go, Jova. Eggman still, that screen was supposed to still be a windshield and not a complete cover.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, again, in another one, you know what, never mind. It's confusing all around.
So yeah, Sonic Spinball actually uses the US, what was at the time the US canon of Sonic instead of it's Planet Mobius. Because remember, the whole Planet Mobius thing was not in the Japanese original canon. It was just Angel Island, West Side Island, and Angel Island. The Planet Mobius thing, this was part of the Western canon that Sega of America came up with at the time. It even uses some characters from SCWRM and Adventures on the bonus stages, like we saw. Go ahead, Till, you were asking something?
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Who came up with the naming of Mobius?
We don't know, Till. I don't think it was Madeline Schroeder. Madeline Schroeder was the head of. If I remember correctly, Madeline Schroeder was the head of marketing. I don't think she actually wrote down this stuff. I'm pretty sure somebody else did. I don't think. Okay, the manuals don't say it, so I don't know who did it. I don't know. Someone did. Okay, Sonic and his pal Tails mount an air assault on the fortress, only to be blasted in mid-flight by Robotnik's cannons. So there you go. Alright, we have also the choosing options. Oh, and by the way, you can change the flipper controls. So that's cool.
Oh boy!
Wonderful.
Chaos Emerald stabilized the Mount Mobius volcano in which the Vego Fortress stand. Yeah, the Vego Fortress. That's the name of this particular place where Sonic is spinning politics. Also, Sonic Spin Invasion!
Of course.
It's clever. Please tell us what clever.
I'm consuming all these puns for future reference.
Indeed.
Wonderful.
Alright, also, why are all the Chaos Emeralds in this game blue? And why and why is there
Because Sonic.
and why is there more than 7?
The thing that I noticed
Because-
watching your run of it is that this game in particular, Spinball, gets to be fucking weird in terms of the aesthetic of the zones and the robots. Like, it's downright disturbing in some
That's
places.
because Teo, this was the first ever Sonic game to be developed in the US.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, okay, well,
Stuff more scary, as you
well,
can
okay.
tell by the American soundtrack of Sonic 3D.
yeah, okay, to be fair, I that is not entirely correct. Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 were technically made in the US. They were led by Japanese people. Like it was it was like more like a half and half thing. Like half of the team was Japanese and the other half was American. But this was the first game to be fully made by Sega Technical Institute without any involvement from any Japanese staff whatsoever.
Okay, I found
God,
it.
do I love it for all its weirdness.
Alright, it mentioned, the wiki specifically mentions that the name Mobius, the earliest using was in one of the later drafts of the Sonic Bible. And as it's mentioned here, all of the initial drafts were handled by
Manual. Neil and Carol Ann Henshaw. Maybe these were the ones? I don't know.
Sorry?
It's right in the credits too. Manual. Neil and Carol Ann Henshaw. Maybe
manual,
them.
Again, I was just about to say, those drafted for the Sonic Bible is mentioned were handled by one person called Dean Seaton. So maybe that's the person.
Also, I love that one. A special bow to Hirokazu Yasuhara and Yuji Naka, creators of Sonic the Hedgehog. What, Oshima doesn't exist?
I guess he's lost in the jagged
No, okay. Okay, to be fair, that actually has a reason. That's because unlike Yasuhara and Naka, Oshima did not move to the US. He stayed in Japan where he made Sonic CD. So, I guess the guys at Sega of America never got to know Oshima, so they forgot he existed. I don't know. Alright everybody, so that was our look at the US manuals, but now it's time to take a look at the Japanese manuals in the next part.
Yeah.
Yeah.